My name's Katta, and this morning I am on a traverse, which is hanging across this rail line that is blocking coal trains going to the Newcastle coal port.
27-year-old Katta O'Donnell is just one of 33 protesters charged last month during weeks of disruption at the Port of Newcastle. 59-year-old Peter Hagar is another.
I'm blocking a coal train because the system's broken. I own a cafe in Bega. I'm a father of two children, Georgia and Harry, partner of Anna. I'm just a regular guy.
Since 2021, Blockade Australia protests have targeted Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Newcastle. And governments across the country have passed dozens of laws to try and stop them.
I've been charged with entering closed lands and for stopping a locomotive or rolling stock. And I'm currently out on bail.
Wow, it's feels very significant to be up here.
I got convicted with 2 charges, and I've just put in a severity appeal against those. So yeah, I'm hoping that it won't damage my future.
And from your point of view, was it a successful action?
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty hard to find success in these things, and I was able to halt the system that's causing damage even just for a little while.
An illegal action wasn't Katta's first attempt to create change. 4 years ago, as a law student, she took a different approach, suing the federal government over the climate crisis.
I was successful in that. The government ended up writing a disclosure, but they don't have to change their behaviour or take any action against that. They're just continuing to make the situation worse.
Hey Alex, how you going? Hey Eric, how you going?
Good, thanks mate.
There's your coffee.
As well as running his cafe, Peter is involved in local politics.
Well, I'm running for council, yeah, so...
2 years ago, he ran as a Greens candidate. And now he's running for mayor.
But real change requires systemic change. So we need to change the way our governments operate, and we need governments that will react.
You talked about changing the system. What did you mean?
We've expanded renewables, we've developed technology, but there is no efforts to actually reduce CO2 emissions. So CO2 emissions just keep going up year on year on year. Changing the system is a system that will respond to reality. It's as simple as that.
And what does that look like in your mind?
But it's the development of new ideas that operate within reality rather than believing that reality will operate within our current ideas. So what that looks like, I don't know, but it has to accept the science.
And I think that the way that we're currently managing things, like the political and economic system, is relying on eternal economic growth. And I just think that we need to change the way that we're viewing that. And it's just completely unsustainable with living in this world.
Do you think Australians are up for moving away from a growth model? You know, it would obviously mean our standard of living goes backwards.
Well, I would like to not look at it as going backwards, but as forwards. So, you know, I think we've gotten to a point where we've realised that this system is causing a lot of damage. So why don't we just pause for a second and really put our minds together into thinking how we can create new ways of being that aren't so damaging.
So what do you want us to do? If you don't know what the system is that replaces it, what's this all about?
Oh, there's definitely other systems that we can put in place. Humans have lived for tens of thousands of years in different systems, and there's so many different cultures we can learn from.
My name's Sergeant Kelly. I'm from the Police Rescue Squad in Newcastle. How are you? I'm okay. How are you?
I think if they are going to lower me down, I'm going to move over to the dryer.
Have you heard from many people saying that they've been convinced by what you've done?
I've had overwhelming support for what I've done in both the court case and this direct action.
I was arrested on top of a coal train in Newcastle a few weeks ago. Yeah. Like Katta, I've had overwhelming support from the community and support from surprising members of the community.
I'm here because this rail network is an economic bottleneck. It's a place where we can actually maybe have some sort of influence.
Do you think in those communities which have been coal reliant for so long that you've convinced people there?
Well, there was a few passenger trains affected, but there was also buses replacing trains very quickly. I know I've been annoyed at buses replacing trains, but I get over it pretty quickly. But yeah, I think we just need to be doing everything we can to support workers to transition out of the industry.
Not letting this train go anywhere for a while. Feels a whole lot better than writing a letter
to a politician that does not give
A future where we continue to burn coal and gas at the rate we're doing, at increasing rates and opening new coal and gas fields is not reality.
Our lives were disrupted in taking that action, but it was there for a cause, and you can get irritated at people trying to make that change, but it doesn't seem very reasonable to me.
When you disrupt people's lives, they can get upset with you, but it doesn't turn them against the argument.
You obviously lived through the Black Summer fires. How did that affect your thinking on these issues?
It's surreal and traumatising when you can't see the sky, when you're terrified about your house.
And did you think at that moment that things were going to change?
Yes, I thought things would change. We lost 460 houses in Black Summer. 100 of those houses have had DAs approved for rebuilding. So there's a shortfall of 360 houses, and yet we try and separate that out. We say, well, there's a housing crisis here, and we're not acknowledging the role that climate has played in that already.
Yeah, I'd already been through the Black Saturday fires back in 2009. And I guess, I realised that this is what it's going to be like. We're going to keep experiencing these events unless we drastically change our behaviour.
Gosh, I'm torn on this. Because part of me is they're getting up and they're doing something about this, right? They're passionately for this cause, and it is an important cause. But I wonder whether doing things in this manner actually changes the system, because to change the system, you actually have to get on board a whole bunch of individuals to help you change that system. And if you're frustrating or annoying people by stopping things, is that actually having the desired effect? Is that leading to more change? Is that getting more people on board the cause? I just don't know if it is, but I can't fault their passion for what they want to do. But just the execution for me, I just wonder if it has the impact they intend.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that has changed is that New South Wales has done this, and I think other states and territories where these sorts of protests have occurred, they've changed the laws to make it harder to protest. So that's one thing that they've managed to, I guess, impact. I guess, it's obviously true their supporters give them support and probably do so with vigour. I'm just not sure how many people's minds are changed.
Yeah, because I've seen these sorts of blockades before, shutting down peak hour traffic in Melbourne, nurses trying to get to their work, teachers, kids trying to get to school. It's why are you punishing and penalising those people to make a much larger point? And you're right, you have to win the hearts and minds of people and bring them along with you, not tick them off so much that they just...
And that's annoying, because the cause is good. We have to do something about this stuff, so it's...
But again, we're talking about it though, aren't we?
True that.